What did I think? I think the statistic that that Kevin Casey and Brandel have been talking about last night about they've all kinds of stats now on the PGA Tour. One of them is who's best in a 20-mile-an-hour wind. Rory comes out on top of that, and when he woke up this morning and he saw a 20-mile-an-hour wind and switching to the north, I think played into his hands somewhat. I thought the fact that he had the honour, and I want to ask that question: how come he had the honour on the 16th? Do they not normally pick out of a hat 1 and 2? They said that because he finished first, he had the honour, and I think that was significant. And to stand up, I know, because I've hit shots behind Rory McIlroy. Trying to follow him is not easy. And I think that was an intimidation. He smashed it, what, 360, 370 down that fairway, leaving himself only a 9-iron. That was significant. That put down the hammer. And JJ just wasn't in it. I talked last night about, you know, those 12, 14 hours were going to be important. And he didn't look like the same focused guy that he did yesterday. Rory then moves on to 17 with the honour again. He does the one thing he has to do. He huts it on the middle of the green. Pressure is on, JJ. So I think Rory has become... There's two big things about what we've seen this week from Rory. Having followed his career so much, and I spent a lot of time in the last 2 months down at the TGL, did a lot of clinics with him and spent a lot of time with him. There's two things that have really impressed me and in the evolution of Rory McIlroy. One is that he doesn't have to win with his A game anymore. This was his B game. He's got much more in the tank than what we've seen from him. So the fact that he etched out a win, a huge win like this, was really significant. And that will buoy him with a lot of confidence going into Augusta, that I don't have to be absolutely on my game to beat these guys. That's the first thing. And the second thing is he's become very good and adept at playing three-quarter shots. Not always been the case. The ability to take speed out of a swing has not normally been a strength of his. It now has evolved into being a strength, and the shot he hit into 17 there was superb. So all in all, a great victory for him. And in terms of the bigger picture, I really go back to the putt that he made on 18 yesterday. If he'd have missed that putt, and imagine the noise that would have come on the back of what happened at the US Open last year. But that's not there anymore. Those gremlins have been somewhat put to bed. And, yeah, he's really buoyed now for an attempt at maybe winning the Grand Slam at Augusta.
Yeah, I mean, the resilience and his ability to reset, I think, have been on display for the last 10 years as he's dealt with disappointments and not winning major championships. You go back to the 2014 PGA Championship that he won. He's won 19 times now on the PGA Tour since then. 19 times since then. He's won another 10 times in Europe. So you're talking about damn near 30 tournaments that he's won since he won that PGA Championship. He's dealt with some disappointment. But you go back to last year, you brought it up, the US Open. He rebounded with great golf at the end of the year on the DP World Tour. But the disappointment yesterday that no doubt he would have been dealing with after having the 3-shot lead on 14, he spoke to it yesterday, saying, I felt like I should have been going home with the trophy, but immediately reduced this golf tournament or this playoff today to its simplest aspects. I've got to make 5 good swings. All right? I think there's genius in that. And then the preparation for what he faced today, warming up on the range, actually turning his back to the range so that he would get similar winds, similar conditions, readjusting the TrackMan so that he knew his flight numbers. I mean, that's the reset, rethinking, reframing what he had to do. It wasn't anyone out there just trying to answer the gremlins and get rid of them from the US Open last year. He was just trying to reset and get in the right frame of mind, and he pulled it off.